Hi you guys, this is just a quick correction for the following video. I made a yarn chat video and in it I shared with you some of the finished projects. Of course the video will follow this quick announcement, but I wanted to let you know that I said something wrong in this video. I made my husband an anniversary amigurumi. I designed it myself. Had no pattern. I usually use the word design. But anyway, I called it a Nurgle. And apparently it is not. It's a Nurgling. Okay? So the video is coming right here any moment. And yeah, so I'm sorry for those Warhammer online fans. It's a Nurgling. Okay. Here you go. Here's the video. Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and this is a yarn chat video. This is my first video recording since being back at school from after Christmas break, and I do have a lot of crochet things to show you that I've made. So I'll start with the first one. I'm hoping to see if I have this nearby. One of the things that I got was I had ordered, oh, maybe I don't know where I put it, a Hirschner's kit to make hanging dish towels. And I got this frosty color yarn, and I'm not gonna lie, I started the Hirschner's pattern and I was having a very difficult time reading it. I don't know, they're just too hard for me to read, Hirschner patterns. So I ended up keeping the yarn and I scoured the internet and I found a YouTube video from Bag O' Day, and I followed her tutorial to make these hanging towels. So it's a really cute V-stitch, and then I wish I had a bigger button because, but anyway, it's one of these kinds that like you wrap it over the bar and you put the button through this hole and you can hang it from your stove with this thing here. I actually wish I also would have moved this to be down here further. Following her stitch patterns, it just didn't work out because her button was like this big, and this is the biggest button I had. And then I made another one. This one, I think I changed the stitch counts a little bit to accommodate, but I still feel like it's a pretty large area here and this back part that hangs. So I made 2 towels, and I have a tiny bit of this yarn left. I'm trying to grab it, just this much. And I was contemplating making coasters to go with, or possibly like a little scrubby, but that is what I made. I ended up using Bag O' Day's pattern to make the hand towels. I'll put a link in the description to her what's that called? Her pattern, her video. So I made these 2. Then the next thing I went to do was make the Christmas blanket. Let me get this for you here. So I got this off of Hirschner's, like the Christmas special. This is the blanket. And the beginning few rows were fine. Then it came to this part where it asked, let me unzip this and get this out for you. It asked for a stitch called, where is it now? The long double crochet. So I'm like, I wonder if that's the kind of double crochet that instead of going into the stitch, you go down. And I was trying to look at the picture to see if I could find a long double crochet in there. And so then I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna look at a tutorial. So I typed in how to make a long double crochet, and I think Creative Grandma had a tutorial about it. I think it was her. And so I watched her and I'm like, oh, I understand that. That sounds great. Then I came over here to read the stitch guide directions, and they're explaining something different than what was in that tutorial. It says skip next stitch, double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Place hook from front to back through skipped stitch, yarn over and pull through work. So Crochet Grandma or Creative Grandma made it sound like you went down for your long double crochet. And this one, it's making it sound like you're going sideways because it says skip next stitch, double crochet, and the next 2 stitches, place your hook from front to back through the skipped stitch. So it's almost like it wants you to go all the way back. And I couldn't find a tutorial to explain that. So I was like, nah. So I put all this stuff back in here and I was like, I'll figure that out later, because I remembered that a very long time ago when I met up with Knittin' Deb from Knittin' Deb's Nook, and we went to the Hirschner sale in Stevens Point, which is just a few hours from Oshkosh. We didn't know each other then. We met each other for the first time, and we went to Hirschner's, and I bought these yarns, these 3, which is the exact same yarn that's in that bag. I actually have some blues as well, a light blue, a greeny blue, and a blue variegated one like this. And so I started making my own pattern for a baby blanket. And this is what I'm doing. It's pretty simple. Apparently I'm really liking the window stitch lately, where I have, let me see, I have a row of half double crochet and then a row of windows. Then I switch to the variegated and I do 2 rows of half double crochet. Then I switch to the pink and I do a row of single crochet. I do the X stitch or the cross stitch, whatever you want to call that. Another row of single crochet, and then I change to the purple and do half double crochet and repeat it. So I'm decided to use this blanket yarn. I'm just going to go and make this blanket as long as it can. It's pretty long this way. I think I want to say it was like 120 some stitches. And then I have a good amount of yarn left. So this has been my sit upstairs while I'm watching TV or chatting with the family project. I dropped it on the floor though. I'm using a tulip crochet hook for that. I want to say the 5.5. So that is my upstairs project. It's the work in progress. Now my other 2 finished objects are over here in this pile. It's getting a little better. I made another pattern out of this book, but it's not on the cover here. This book calls for DK or fingering yarn. So I decided to make one. And actually, when I made my cloud and my sunflower for Maddie, I used Bella Coco's DK, which is really thin. And so I decided to make one of these patterns with worsted weight yarn. I used worsted weight yarn in a 3.5 millimeter hook. I actually used a tulip hook. No, I mean a Crochet Society hook. I don't love them, but I have so many of them. I just decided to use one. I just have to hold the hook in a certain way. Usually I'm a pencil crocheter where I hold my crochet hook like this, like a pencil. But when I use the Bella Coco or the Crochet Society ones, I end up being like a weird crocheter. I don't even know what I do. I like hold it like this. It's crazy. But it's just the weight, the feel of these handles don't crochet very well for me, and I can't crochet like a knife. But anyway, all of that to say, I used this hook, worsted weight yarn, and I made this little amigurumi ice cream cone. Isn't it cute? It has 3 different layers. These are the panda's ears. They're kind of high though. This is a little unicorn, and then this is just ice cream. And it looks super cute. Wow. Some embroidery on there. I used all worsted weight. I love this yarn except for this because I didn't have any gray I bought. It's that yarn that I bought there with the gift cards from my class. This though, I used Big Twist Silver Sparkle. Yeah, so there it is. I even did her eyes. The only thing that I did different from the pattern is I don't like the winky eye. I'm going to show it to you guys. She wants you to use one eye, and then she wants you to do the sideways V. Ooh, where is it? Here it is. Like this. And I'm not a fan of that. So I didn't. I just made this. Ta-da! So this is another finish. I literally just finished this last night. Those dishcloths I finished like Sunday night. I had finished that a while ago. So my next finished object I made for my husband because today actually is our wedding anniversary. Today is January 15th, and we went out for breakfast today. We have a really great restaurant we like to go to in Oshkosh. It's like a family cooking restaurant. We love it. And so I wanted to give him an anniversary present, but my husband's really cheap. He doesn't like he doesn't like cards. He doesn't like wrapping, you know. So I thought, what could I give him? So I made him something, you guys. Now, some of you might know what this is, and others of you will have no idea. My husband likes to do World of Warcraft, and he likes to paint. I feel like I have a hair right across in here. I'm sorry, you guys. And so every time I turn, I feel like it's poking me. Anyway, he likes to paint little monsters and goblins and skeleton heads. It's not my thing. I mean, I like painting, I like crafts, but I don't like goblins. Well, anyway, there is a creature that he's asked me to make him a while ago, and I didn't make it for him because it's ugly. But it was our anniversary. I just finished doing this ice cream amigurumi, and so I felt like, you know what? I am going to make him this creature. Now, here you go. The creature is called a Nurgle. I've never heard it before, and I looked it up online. There's lots of variations, and this is my interpretation of a Nurgle. Here's his little legs. He can't really stand on them, obviously. He's got like this weird potato body with this little head. Some of the Nurgles have horns. Some of them had weird curled horns. He's got these icky yellow teeth. His mouth's crooked, but that's okay. The whole thing's ugly. And I gave him some warts on his arms and like these little single crochet hands coming off the ends of his little stumps. This actually is a wound. This is on the Nurgle. The Nurgle's insides are coming out, right? And then here is some of his intestines just hanging out over here. Go ahead, type in Nurgle and see what you get. They're these little weird creatures. Yeah, and so I made him this Nurgle. There's no pattern. There are some, I want to say there are some on Etsy crochet patterns, but I wasn't going to pay for the Nurgle, and I just decided to look at the pictures online and make my own. You guys, he loves it. He loves this little creature. He's also very proud of me for making it without a pattern. Typically, I don't like making things without patterns, but I was able to make him. I'm actually really impressed. I was going to try to do a cylinder kind of horn, kind of like the arms, but then I decided to do the, I chained 7, and then I single crocheted in the second chain from the hook, and then in the third chain from the hook, I put 2 or 3 single crochets to give it that little curl. If you keep doing that, you'll make a spiral tundrel, but I just did it in that third chain from the hook, and then the rest of them, I just did a single crochet. Yeah, I embroidered his teeth on. I gave him some warts on this arm as well. And then, like I said, this is his wound, and this is a intestine. So I made that for my husband for our wedding anniversary. Today, we have been married for 18 years. So that is it for I want him to sit like this. His feet, I kind of made similar to that of the feet from Georgie, from Mariah Elizabeth, but he has like hooves. Some of the pictures I saw, it looked like he had hooves. So I kind of gave him that weird like little, I don't know what that is. But yeah, so this is his Nurgle. I finished it. I told him I needed to make a video from it before I completely give it to him. And I said, don't play with it because his embroidery might come out. You know how kids play with it and then they pull the mouth strings and then it's hanging out? I said, it's just to sit and look at. So yeah, that is my busy week of crochet. I'm working on a baby blanket. I finished 2 dish towels. I made 2 amigurumis. This I'm bringing to my classroom, and I'm pretty sure the kids are going to love it. The girls. Maybe a few boys will be impressed with it, but Yeah, it's huge. Making these with worsted weight makes them real big. That is what, you know, bigger yarn, bigger hook, they come out a little bigger. So I love it. I am thinking, I wanted to write down the subscriber's name who suggested this, but I forgot to, so I'm sorry. But I had made this cloud. And then I was like, what am I going to do with this cloud? And so she suggested that I make the raindrop. I'm going to show you the whole page. Here they are. That I make the raindrop and or the sun and the rainbow, and I make a mobile, you know, a mobile or a mobile that hangs over a crib. Because I already made this for Maddie, but I accidentally did it the wrong colors. I made it yellow and then orange, and then I just made this cloud. I want to make the teardrop, but if I do, I have to make these in the Bella Coco yarn, the DK Sport, which you can sort of see right here in that cubby right there. That's where I put all my extra, or if I binge order a few of her boxes in the past box section, because I really love her yarn. Haha. Okay, you guys, so that is all. I'm debating on whether or not I will attempt to write a pattern for the Nurgle. I started, like, taking notes about what I was doing. You know, I just did the basic build, increase up to 7, and then I kind of increased and decreased to kind of give him, like, that potato body look. Do you see that? It's a little bit of a decrease in there. And then I decreased significantly to give him, like, this lumpy little head. This is the second ugliest thing I've ever made. The first ugliest thing I made was for one of my second graders last year, but I gave it to him as a third grader. And it's a Street Fighter character. I don't remember his name. He's green as well, and he has orange afro hair. So these two, but this is like kind of a cute ugly. All right, I'll put a link in the description to the pattern for the hanging dish towel. Make sure you have very large buttons if you plan to do that. I also will put a link in the description to this Too Cute Amigurumi book. And then otherwise, that is it. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Thanks for liking and sharing my videos. And until the next video, happy crafting. Bye.